My name is Anatoly Motkin, and I'm president of Strategy Center for a New Economy. Today, I have a honor to hand over, although virtually, the StrategEast Westernization Award for a lifestyle westernization achievement to Keith Krach, former Undersecretary of State for the Clean Network Initiative, which is designed to provide citizens of Eurasia with equipment and applications for reliable suppliers. The initiative, led by the U.S. State Department, is intended to implement internationally accepted digital trust standards across a coalition of trusted partners. And I would like to address the first question to you, Keith. Working in the region of the post-Soviet countries of Eurasia, strategists, we often see that the countries of the region, such as Belarus, Ukraine, and also the countries of Central Asia, have become targets of China's technological expansion. Please tell us what success the Clean Network program has been able to achieve in the post-Soviet Eurasian region.
Well, thank you so much. And first of all, my deepest thanks for the StrategEast Westernization Award. I really, really appreciate that for building the Clean Network Alliance of Democracies. You know, the Clean Network now, it's a tremendous success story. It's one government-led initiative that actually defeated China Inc., and this is in the area of defeating China's master plan for controlling 5G. And now the Clean Network has 61 clean countries, which represents 2/3 of the world's global GDP. It also includes 200 clean telcos and dozens of industry-leading companies like Oracle, Cisco, HP, Siemens, Fujitsu, NEC. It also includes 26 of the 27 NATO nations, and also it includes 27, that's of the EU nations, and 27 of the 30 NATO nations. And it also includes 11 of the 12 3Cs nations. So in essence, the Transatlantic Alliance has gone clean, as well as many Central and Eastern European countries. And in particular, in January, I welcomed Ukraine and Georgia into the Clean Network when they signed 5G MOUs with the United States. And I expect more and more countries to follow. As a result of the success of that, I was number 3 on China's sanction list. So my family's sanctioned. And the way I look at it, I'm from a small town in the middle of the country in Ohio. And, I wear that honor with great pride. The Wall Street Journal called it an undisputed success and an enduring foreign policy legacy. The great thing is picked up by the new administration. And then one other little fun fact is that the Clean Network was so successful that Harvard Business School created a case study about it, and it's being taught to tomorrow's business leaders. And, I think really it boils down to the Clean Network is based on principles of trust. And the goal is to include all countries and organizations as participants. And countries that currently do not abide by those trust principles will be excluded from Clean Network membership until they reform, problematic practices and laws. And no nation is excluded forever. And the Clean Network does not require a country to choose between partnership with the United States or any other nation. And the trust tenets really serve as a positive inducement for countries and companies to uphold those trust principles. And, those trust principles are things like transparency, accountability, integrity, reciprocity, respect for rule of law, respect for property of all kinds, respect for sovereignty of nations, respect for the planet, and respect for human rights. So that's the aim of the Clean Network.
Thank you, Keith. And as a follow-up, we understand that the main weapon that China is using in an attempt to impose its 5G networks and other technological solutions is to exploit the relative poverty of the countries of Eurasia. China offers equipment on credit, which is provided by the Chinese government. And how can trusted partners who live in a free market and who are not ready to use corrupt practices resist this use of non-market mechanisms? And how is the American government ready to help its partners in the Eurasian region?
Sure. I think the thing that's important to remember is Huawei is China's most important company. It's their only really worldwide brand, and it is an extension of their surveillance state. It's the backbone of their surveillance state. Same with ZTE. And high-risk vendors like Huawei compromise citizens' private information, companies' intellectual property, and countries' national security. And Huawei's well-documented history of IP theft, bribery, corruption, and their surveillance state tactics, and the world has joined on that clean network, committed to using only trusted partners. What I found running economic diplomacy for the United States is that China's retaliation, retribution, intimidation is always the elephant in the room, especially among developing nations. And the clean network provides a security blanket in the face of those shared threats, which have traditionally come from places like Russia. But as the G7 meeting just underscored, free nations all recognize the clear and present threat from the Chinese takeover of 5G and high tech. And tomorrow's tech should be trusted. Another important part of joining the clean network is that it paves the way for greater private sector investment, especially in the innovation sector. And I think this is critical for Central European and Asian nations. So when clean companies look to invest in markets around the world, they naturally look for partners that share that commitment to trusted 5G infrastructure, and they will not jeopardize the future by relying on high-risk 5G networks. And also choosing trusted partners is critical, not only in digital infrastructure, but also traditional as well. Eurasian countries are familiar with China's One Belt, One Road initiative. One of the Asian diplomats I met with, he called it the One Belt, One Way toll road to Beijing. When I first heard about the One Belt, One Road initiative, this is when I was running a company called DocuSign. It's a $50 billion company in the United States. And I was on a listening tour in China. And I can tell you, it sure looked like a military supply chain to me. And while I was running economic diplomacy, I witnessed China's insatiable appetite for raw materials, hard currency, and jobs, resulting in the equivalent of an invasion that attacks developing nations from siphoning their natural resources, bleeding their financial resources, and devaluing their human resources. And this is why in November of 19, at the Indo-Pacific Forum in Bangkok, I launched a thing called the Blue Dot Network with Australia and Japan. And what that provides is a unifying and equitable alternative to the One Belt Road. And this is with clean infrastructure plus clean financing. And the Biden administration has aptly renamed it the Clean Green Initiative. And now it's supported by all G7 nations under the moniker of B3W, or Build Back a Better World partnership. So, Xi's CCP has proven that it's not a reliable partner for these large-scale infrastructure projects. We've seen so much in terms of these projects being utilize shoddy construction, destroy the environment, and they come up with ample corruption and coercion that goes right along with that. And they ship their workers, robbing the host countries of any job creation, and often leaving a trail of human rights abuse in that wake. These are two very important areas, and I think it's critical, in terms of free nations around the world working together on this.
Thank you. And before you became government official, you were, as you mentioned, extremely successful IT entrepreneur. And the question, the last one is about to you as an innovative entrepreneur and a transformation leader. We at StrategEast are engaged in the development of the IT industry in the post-Soviet countries of Eurasia. So in your opinion, does the development of the new economy, and in particular the IT industry, contribute to the social reforms in Eurasia? How can the digital transformation of the region be used to bring it closer to the West and to spread Western values in the region?
Yeah, by the way, I think this is a national imperative for all these countries, is to accelerate that digital transformation. So by joining initiatives like the Clean Network and the Blue Dot Network, or the B3W now what it's called, requires that adoption of these universal trust principles. Those ones that I mentioned in terms of integrity, accountability, and transparency, reciprocity, respect for rule of law. So this is these time-tested trust principles reflect democratic values, and this enables fast, frictionless, and secure collaboration in areas that are critical to our shared future. And when I look at the word trust, it's the most important word in any language. You buy from people you trust, you partner with people you trust. Trust is the basis of every relationship. It's no different in high tech. In my DocuSign days, I would always say, we're not in the software business, we're in the trust business. And Eurasian countries send a powerful signal to the free world when they adopt those trust principles. And it tells all their potential partners that the relationship is worth investing in, and it will last. I call it a 60-60 deal, where both parties get the best part of the deal. When I look at DocuSign, for example, this company we built, this automates the digital transaction process, the system of agreement. It automates electronic signatures. So it was critical. It's critical during these COVID times where people can't get face to face to sign. It also allows. It's a key strategic tool for having more women in the workforce, because when they're at childbearing age and they're taking care of their children, it allows them to work from home. Another company that I built 25 years ago was called Ariba. We invented business-to-business e-commerce. And the Ariba network now conducts $3.7 trillion worth of commerce on an annual basis, more than Amazon, eBay, and Alibaba combined. And the beautiful thing about that is that suppliers from countries around the world match up with buyers from all around the world. And so it really accelerates commerce around the world. It also leaves a digital audit trail. So this is a key tool in stopping things like corruption. And you get tremendous economies of scale with that. So I think the digital transformation is a way for these countries to leapfrog and really drive productivity. And productivity is the #1 driver of GDP per capita, which is, of course, that's the standard of living.
Thank you, Keith. And let me congratulate you again with the Westernization Award, and to thank you for your enormous contribution to the global digital security. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And it's my honor. And it was wonderful to serve the country as well as serve the world.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.